Hi, I'm Cheryl Brunette, and today I'm going to show you a very elegant way to join two yarns in the middle of your knitting without yarn ends, without a knot. And this can be used for wools and felting fibers. I showed you a different method how to do that, but it's especially good for acrylics, non-felting fibers, cotton, silk, all of those, cellulose and artificial fibers. I personally will not knit a knot. That might come from my mother's training, but it also comes from years of working in a yarn shop as a troubleshooter, and I have seen way too many knots pop to the front. So my personal recommendation is not to do it, though other people knit knots, and I'm not the only one with an opinion. Let me show you the Russian join. When you choose a tapestry needle for a particular job, there are three properties to consider. One is the length of the needle. Another one is the pointiness of the needle. And the third one is the diameter or bore or size of the needle. And be mindful when you choose a needle for a particular job. There are times when you want a pointy needle so that you can pierce the yarns. There are other times when you want a blunt needle so that you don't run the risk of piercing the yarns. For today, I have chosen this particular one. It doesn't matter if it was short or long. That wasn't a variable that was important to this particular job. However, I wanted it to have a big enough eye so that it would be easy for me to thread the worsted weight yarn in it that I'm using, and I wanted it to be pretty blunt. So let's put these away and get out our two pieces of acrylic. Let's say that this is the yarn that I've been working with, and this is the one that I am going to start with next. And basically what we're going to do is join them like this, and we're going to work a section of this yarn back onto itself. So cross those together, and then it doesn't matter if you pierce these plies, but I like to kind of work down the center almost as if you were creating a core of these plies. And you do it for a couple of inches. Remember, this is going to be worked into some knitting, so it'll be obscured by that. Let's pull that all the way through. And when you're done with that, you pull that down because it gathers it up as you're collecting it, and you that viscous stuff in your mouth that I use for a spit splice. I use it to kind of turn these a little bit here too, and then just cut off the end. I cut it at an angle. Notice I didn't break it because this is acrylic and it's hard for me to break acrylic. And so we have that end left. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to thread it up. And insert in what is sort of like the core of that yarn. There's no core in there. These are just plies that are going around air. So you're going through that air passage. And if you push the yarn a little bit like I am, that helps you to open those plies up a little bit. Again, pull it through. snip this off. And ta-da! And this is a pretty strong join. That's popping out a tiny bit. I'll probably go back and trim that after it's knit up. Let's see where it falls in my knitting. Of course, it's not going to fall anywhere because these are itty-bitty short ends that are just props. There you have it, an elegant way to join two yarns in the middle of your knitting without even tying a knot, which personally, I have opinions about this, but then everyone does. But my personal opinion is that it can get you into more trouble than it can keep you out of. I hope you enjoyed that. It is a great alternative to the venerable spit splice, which you cannot use with cellulose fibers. And I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you'll come and see me again sometime. See you soon. Bye. Good for fibers that are non-feltable. Spit splice. This is the non-spit splice. The Russian non-split. No, never mind.